Hello everyone and welcome to a special edition of Inside the Den. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Some of you guys have been hitting me up asking me, what games do I play regularly? And right now I'm playing a lot of Diablo 3. Big reason why is, and then I'm actually doing this because I'm actually playing it for free because I get it free with my WoW subscription. So kind of a free to play, kind of not a free to play. It's more just showing you guys what I play a lot. So I'm going to do these kind of each week. This week I'm going to do Diablo 3. As you can see, I'm going to play my level 23 wizard on normal difficulty. Kind of look at her a little bit. We can look at my profile, see my career, see all that stuff. I haven't had a ton of time to play, but my highest level wizard is level 25. But you can see I've reached the Butcher and also Belial. I've also got my different heroes in here. I've got a level 12 Barbarian, and then I've got a level 11 Wizard on Hardcore and a level 5 Monk on Hardcore. We could go ahead and take and inspect her. I actually just picked up these gloves here because I wanted to boost up her intelligence a little bit more. If you don't know, with the Wizard, higher the intelligence, pretty much the more damage you're going to do. Also, if you take in the higher damage you get just between rings and things like that, you're also going to increase their damage. So you're really looking for a couple things: intelligence, increased attack speed, and any damage that you can get out of different things like that. Arcane, maximum arcane power, that kind of comes into play, but you can really get a lot of arcane power regen from these different skills here. But we'll talk about those in a bit. We can see we've got one of my my level 25 wizard here from Hardcore is archived, so she's in the Hall of the Fallen Heroes. Well, let's get out of here. Let's go ahead and jump into a game. We'll actually jump into a game with a bunch of people. One of the nice things about playing normals, there's always people to jump into games with. So we can jump in real quick. And you can see I am using the custom skill set. So if you guys don't know how to do that, you can go into options, and then you go into gameplay, and then you do elective mode. So I know there's been some of you I've seen in different chat rooms and stuff like that asking, how do I set that up to where I can pick whatever skills I want? Elective mode is how you do go ahead and do that. So we can go ahead and apply and accept. Return to the game, and then you're able to put whatever skills you want wherever you want in these different sections. So let's see, we're already on to going to take care of the Western and Eastern Flow channel, so let's go ahead and jump into there. Now we are in Act 2, so everybody's going to be around late teens, early 20s. Let's go ahead and close that out. So you can see I've got 4 other players. Now I'm going to use a lot of, you'll see me using a lot of Electrocute and also a lot of the Disintegrate here. So we'll pick up a bunch of this stuff. I love the fact that you could just walk over all the gold. I hate games where you have to spend so much time actually trying to pick up gold. It's just so much easier to just walk right over them. You can see my Electrocute and my Disintegrate are just creaming these guys pretty well. So we can go ahead and take these guys out. Now I can actually take, and a couple things that's kind of cool with the setup that I have right now is, let's go ahead and go into our skills. So you can see here with Glass Cannon I increase all my damage done, but with Prodigy I actually take, and when you deal damage with a signature spell, mine is going to be Electrocute, I actually take and regenerate a bunch of my actual arcane power, which is over here. So let's go ahead and catch up with the rest of my group. Who's cruising over here can bring up our map, and we are already headed in the right direction, which is very good, so we can get through this little area a little bit faster. Help that guy go ahead and take that little monster out much faster. And here's a bunch coming after us. Take these guys down. Let's take him down. You see there are a lot of foreign players. Now we can just heal up real quick with a little potion. There are a lot of foreign players, so especially when I play either late at night or early in the morning. I am a morning riser, so I tend to play early in the morning. I usually get on and see a lot of guys with foreign names, so... But it's cool. I don't have a problem with that. None whatsoever. Don't think that I do. It's always just one of those things that I see. Not a matter of me having a problem with it. I've actually some of the best players that I've actually played with have usually been not US based players. Sometimes I get on with some kids that like to do some really silly stuff. But hey, no problem. That's why I try and power up. It's actually why I stopped playing in the hardcore mode and went back to playing normal, is I kind of got tired of dying because of other people. So it just was one of those things where I seemed to, I never seemed to really die because of my own follies. It was always somebody else's issues that caused me to die. So going back to normal play was just a little more my style. So let's Let's get this satchel. Now, one thing you probably already know is finding those little satchels and stuff are always really helpful because they do give you experience, and they usually do drop some gold. And I have the sound turned down right now, but you could take it, turn it up, and hear all of these voiceovers and stuff. And sometimes you will go in and you will recognize that there is a very well-known actor in some cases doing some of that voiceover. So really worth it to listen to some of that stuff. So I'm guessing since these guys are going back this way that we went the wrong direction. So I really do. I have to tell you, like, the Diablo series has always been one of my favorite series of games. I played Diablo 1. I actually have a really funny story about Diablo 1 that I'll tell you guys here in a second. But I was just saying, it's always been one of my favorite series, one of my favorite types of gameplay. I really like the isometric stuff, and it's like I said, it's just kind of my style. I'm a little more of a PvE guy than I am PvP, so it really kind of fits my gameplay style. But funny story about Diablo 1. So years ago, I was taking and playing in a game. So sorry about that. I had to actually pause the video. So, and these guys actually finished the little section. So I'm actually going to catch up with them using the town portal. But anyways, going back to my story. So years ago, playing Diablo 1, me and a bunch of buddies, we were actually at a gaming convention in LA, in Los Angeles. And so we were taking and we were kind of all hanging out in the room, and we brought our computers with us. And this is before, this was back in the old days of LAN parties and shit like that. So we're talking about, I don't know, like mid-90s. And so we're sitting there, and I think they were playing Quake, the original Quake, and I was playing Diablo. I was going to show somebody, how I could beat Diablo himself. So we were sitting there, and we're all playing our different games, and I'm playing Diablo, and I'm cruising along, and I get towards the very end, and they had all finished playing Quake, and they were all kind of just gathered around, and they were watching me play Diablo now, and they're like, everybody wanted to go to bed. I don't know, it was probably like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe even earlier than that, because we used to stay up super late. We used to stay up for a couple days at a time when we go to those conventions. But anyways, we take, and I'm there, and I'm entering Diablo's chamber, and I start fighting him. Well, all of a sudden, my other buddy takes and decides to turn his computer off. What he doesn't realize is instead of turning his computer off, he turns a bunch of other stuff, including my monitor, off. So at that point in time, everybody's freaking out because I'm in Diablo's chamber fighting Diablo. And we're like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh shit, sorry. And instead of actually turning everything back on, he hits a different power button, which is actually the power button on my computer, and completely shuts my computer off. So we're all sitting there, we're like, dude, what the fuck? And we all start, basically it gets to the point where we're all so tired, and it's just this funny story because it's like, oh, you turn the monitor off. Oh, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you turning everything off? Oh, wait, the computer's still on. He's like, oh, wait, I'll fix that. And he just takes and totally shuts the computer off. And basically, like I said, we were all just so tired and so out of it that we all just completely laughed about it and went to bed. And it's still one of those stories that, it is kind of a you had to be there story. It is a little bit funnier when you were there. But it is one of those stories where, as a gamer, you're sitting there and you reach the pinnacle of what you're trying to do. And once again, my buddy takes and just completely screws me by turning off my computer instead of taking and realizing what he had done. But I couldn't fault him. We were all so tired. We hadn't been gaming like all day long. Let's get through this little wall. I hate these wallers. I don't know if I hate the wallers more or the teleporters. So whenever you fight these different elite mobs, they always have a special power of some kind. So it'll usually be something like they can either wall around you and kind of stick you in a place, or they can teleport around you, or the nightmarish. And it's always such a pain in the ass when they do that. But either way, let's get this going, and let's get this guy dead, and let's head down there. There's usually a nice little chest down here, so can't see if it's actually down there. Yep, it's down there. We'll have to fight our way out. So we'll get this chest, and then we'll fight our way out. And then we'll head into get the blood of Zoltan Cool. Here we go. All the goods. And here come the monsters. Let's take them out real quick. Let's get that. Start wasting these guys. I love there's this Another one of my favorite skills is actually this one right here. This explosive blast. I basically just make myself explode. Take all these guys down. There we go. Let's get this little spell book.
I don't have enough arcane power.
Yeah. Get in the mix here. That's one of the cool things about it. So I can kind of use this little combination here. So I've got my diamond skin, and then I've got my explosive blast. So I can kind of run in the middle of a lot of monsters, use my diamond skin, use my explosive blast, and then be able to protect myself from actually taking any damage. And I hate these little imps, by the way. I don't know which monster I hate more. And you guys tell me which monster you hate more. These little imps that run away. Now, obviously, it gets to be a lot easier when you are a magic user because you can take and just cast on them. Or earlier in this act, there are actually the little bugs, and they're like Galaga bugs. That's the best way that I can describe them. They're these little Galaga bugs that basically shoot other little bugs out at you, and they do so much damage. Let's take this guy down real quick. Let's regenerate, renew our shield and our. Let's take out all these egg sacs. Get the gold. So now, paying attention here, if you take and use your magic weapon, it actually imbues your weapon with magical energy, and that you may think, oh, well, why am I going to use a magic weapon? Well, it actually will take and it will increase your damage here. So it will increase your overall damage that you do against monsters. So it becomes really kind of valuable to use that spell, that little buff. So kind of one of those hidden gems there. Like most of the time you think, oh, well, I don't need a magic weapon because I'm not actually doing anything melee based, but it actually does come in handy. So let's get those little things there. And of course, always collect your rubies. And with the most recent patch, you may have noticed that all that stuff is now sellable in the actual US dollar auction house. So you are going to be able to take and pick up and do a lot of crafting with gems and sell those on the actual in the actual auction house. That you can make some actual cash money with. So I know a lot of people later on use the skill. What is it here? It's over here. Instead of magic weapon. Where is it? Not familiar. Explosive blast. Nope. It's this energy twister, and I just actually recently got a new upgrade, and I did get Hydra, which I actually like to use Hydra a lot too. So I'm gonna have to maybe adjust some of my skills later. But right now I'm kind of going with more of the tank mage. So I keep explaining stuff to you guys, and I keep getting behind the group that I'm hanging out with. But it's cool. They do all the work. I just kind of run behind them, pick up all the goodies, all this gold. But I do like in the, not in the skills, in your actual character sheet, you can go in and see a lot of details. You can see my damage increased by my intelligence, which is 292. Usually I like to get, when I'm in Act 2, I like to get that up to around like 400 or so, if not higher. I do need some upgrades as far as my character is concerned. I definitely need a new belt. You can see I'm using some stuff that's still like 9, 10, 12. I do need new rings. My rings are okay, but I'd like to get some more damage and obviously some more intelligence on those. I definitely need a new amulet, and my shoulders are okay. Let's see, what else do I need? Definitely need new pants, and probably some new boots here soon. See, do we happen to get anything with intelligence? Nope. So let's keep cruising along. Let's catch up to the rest of this group. Actually, it looks like it may be worth it for me to teleport out. That's one of the nice things, just teleport out and just pick one of the guys to teleport back to from this area. But you know what I'm going to do before that? So since I'm already here, I'm going to go and destroy a bunch of these. Crafting comes in really handy. You can see I am already at level 4 blacksmith, so I am looking for one more page blacksmith. I may actually buy it, and then I can start crafting a bunch of better stuff. Let's go ahead and just go through and take all this stuff out. Make sure I don't have anything that's of any use or value. I used to take and hold on to anything that had over a 10 in any of the skills, but now I just kind of say screw it and just basically just look for higher end items. At minimum, I keep only yellow items or above. So So these little bugs are a pain in the ass too, especially when they teleport around. Let's go ahead and take him out. Get it nice and close, get a nice little blast on him. Diamond skin up. So he can't actually do any damage to us. There we go, we actually got a nice little yellow item there. Let's take out this web spitter. We got an amulet of focus, so we'll have to take a look and see if that's any better than what I have. Let's take all these bugs out here with one big blast. There we go. So let's go take a look what we got here. Got a rare shield. Let's get rid of these guys while we're... Oh, somebody else leveled up real quick. Ah, these bugs don't go away. Go away. I'm trying to identify this shield. That's not a bad shield, especially for about a level 18 or so. Tank barbarian. It's not too bad, especially since it's got 29 strength and does have the chance to find magic items, which is usually a very coveted attribute. But this is much better, so I'm going to go ahead and change that out. And you can see I'm now over 300 instead of 292. So we can go ahead and we can start cruising around here. And where did everybody go? They all took off. Go ahead and do that. Start cruising around here. Diamond skin up. Take all these guys out with this. There we go. Took one out. Then we did some serious damage to him. Let's get off that little poison stuff. Just kind of blockade it in here. We are in the cave. Yeah, I was going to say we are in the cave of the betrayer, so where the hell did everybody go? This is where we're supposed to be. Let's see, is this a dead end up here? There we go. And I love it, basically. The game is essentially just mass murder. Let's see. Trying to figure out where all these guys are. Vault of the Assassin. So he's over at the Vault of the Assassin, but we didn't get the item we needed from here. So I guess it's my job to get the item we need from here. And they're all going to do it in the Cave of the Assassin. That's all right. Kind of just speed things along a little bit. It certainly looks like they didn't hit all these chests and all these different destructibles. And that's the other thing is one of these destructibles that you see me just kind of taking out here real quick, I actually got an actual orange item out of one of those. So it really is advantageous for you to take the time to destroy all these little things. Even though it seems super, super mundane, it is really worth it to kind of open up all these things, open up all these chests, even though half the time you can't see some of this stuff. But here we go. So we're going to head over this way. And hopefully by taking and heading in two directions, let's go ahead and use a little potion there to heal up. There we go. Like I said, I hate these little bugs, little teleporter bugs. Okay, we'll keep cruising around, pick up all this junk. Oh, look at that. Nice little coat. Let's see. I think we could probably use a new coat. Nope, not as good as what we have. But that'll sell in the auction house for maybe 5,000 or so like that. So, and early on it's so hard, you know, like later on in the game, you know, people are selling stuff in the millions. But alright, is somebody actually in the Vault of the Assassin? Yes, Hope is. So let's get out of here. Let's go over, since we already got what we needed here. Time to go over to the Vault of the Assassin and help him out. So we need to go, let's find Hope on here. Nope. Nope. Nope, that's me. And there's Hope right there. Head over to the Vault of the Assassin and start helping him just wreak havoc on all these guys. And there we go. So if we get through here quick enough, maybe I can show you guys a little boss battle. Actually, I'm thinking about maybe I'll pause this to show you guys boss battle. But you know what? I can actually take and do this without pausing it. I can just make an extra long video. You guys love watching all this gameplay shit anyways. So there we go. Let's get all this stuff. Take this little Bowmaster out. And let's get that chipped emerald. So we can start making some goodies later. That stuff. Oh, dead end. So he looks like he's actually hasn't been very far around this whole thing yet. Take that guy out. Grab the gold. Up we go. So it definitely is fun to see all of the I guess you'd call it WoW influence in these in some of these areas. And of course, taking out those goblins is very advantageous because look at all the crap they drop, and especially another chipped emerald. So let's head down this way. Need to get out of there. It's a little bit too much, and I already used my diamond skin. So there we go. Come on, down you go. And of course, they like to explode. Let's take out the Guardian Tower. And am I down here alone? Yep, he went back to the hidden camp. He's probably selling stuff or destroying things or whatever. So it looks like we're on our own to try and find the... What are we looking for? We are looking for the blood of Zoltan Cool. So, yep, he's back. That's what he was doing. He was taking in. Just turning a bunch of stuff in. We head over this way. Yep, looks like this opens up a little bit. Now we're gonna run in there. Maybe not. There we go. 25 monsters killed and a shit ton of them killed with one blow. New record. So you have to love it when they all line up for you. All little pretty ducks in a row. So there we go. It is fun to watch, you know, to play with other players because it's certainly fun to see all the different classes and how they play and really get an idea for what the higher level skills are. I know that I like to see a lot of I like to try out a lot of the different characters, but a lot of times, like, I don't ever get to see the high level stuff because I'm such a creature of habit that I will take and just constantly play the same character types, even though I probably should check out some other stuff. All right, shrunken head. Let's see if this a lot of chipped stuff. Let's see if he needs this. Where's that shrunken head? Probably not. Actually, the stats on it are kind of weak, but you just never know what he's got going on. Looks like he's typing. We'll just drop it down there for him. Go get the Enlightened Shrine. Alright, where haven't we gone yet? Came in that way. Over there, maybe? I had to miss something. Oh, those are probably better than mine. But it's cool so far. You know, I've had a lot of good experiences, especially with people trading items like that. You know, I've had people give me plenty of yellow items, and I've given away plenty of yellow items where people have needed it. I even, on one of my other characters, actually got somebody to just give me an orange item, which they probably could have sold for a decent amount of coin on the auction house. So the community is really pretty cool as far as that stuff goes. And I know as far as crafting is concerned, you know, if you need something and you can find somebody who, I know a lot on Twitch TV, there's a lot of people on there that take and do a lot of crafting, especially the higher end stuff. So once you power through and get yourself up to level 60, spend the time to get yourself up there, there's a lot of people who will take and will be willing to craft items for you and are willing to really be helpful, I would say. I mean, that's one of the things. Diablo's always been a game, you know, it's kind of more co-op than it is PvP, so people are generally pretty cool when it comes to that type of stuff. Let's cruise over this way. I'm trying to figure out where this guy has not been, because looking at the map, it looked like he had been pretty much everywhere. Must have missed some little nook or cranny somewhere where this blood is located. Because I can't... It has to be down in that bottom corner. That's where it has to be. So we'll cruise over that way. very bottom corner there. So let's get it. We're gonna have to go up this way a little bit. What did this guy get? The Culling of Hell. Kill 1,000 elites. Well, I'm already past that one. I already have 1,500. And the achievement system is pretty cool too. You know, there's tons of course, it's a Blizzard game. They have just tons and tons of achievements. So of course there's going to be all this different stuff to do and all these fun ones and different random things that you get achievements for. Here comes the little snake guys. Let's take them out. 1 down, 2 down, just like that. Cruise over here, and there it is. There's the blood we need. Here comes the massive monster that's going to try and take us out. Keep the Ancient Walker down first, because he seems to do the most damage and get out of the fire. We'll take this guy out. There we go. It always sucks that even though they're yellow elites, they don't give anything really good. All right, I'll get more arcane power. There we go. Let's get out of here. And there we go. We're off to the archives of Zul'Tan. Cool, finally. So let's take that out. Is anybody actually there? Desolate Sands. Keep burrowing. Keep burrowing. These guys are all screwing around, going the wrong way. So now we got to find it. So let's take all these guys out. Do a nice little explosion. Oh, we actually got some elites here that are sucking me in. They're probably not going to let me get away, so this ought to be fun. There we go. Let's see if we can take these guys out by myself. This is going to be tough. Thankfully, they keep dropping stuff that I need, as in health. So there we go. Only 1 blue. What a bunch of horse shit that is. So we've got to find the archives of the Desolate Sands. So we get to cruise around all over the place. But I tell you guys what, I'm actually going to call it here, and what I will do is I will do another video when I get a little bit closer, and I will actually do a video of taking out Belial later on once I've kind of gotten through all this stuff. And there's the bugs that I hate. These little bastards. And I died. Perfect timing. I died, so it's time to call it. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this trip inside the den. I promise to do more of these gameplays every single week, and maybe even more than just every single week. Maybe more like a couple of these a week. So take care, and if you'd like to play or learn more about Diablo 3, you can always read up more about it on MMODen.com. Until next time, thanks for watching.